Hello everyone, welcome to another J. Robinson Art peel-off painting project. Today we're going to be painting a very easy, very fun, yet very interesting painting of an ornament, a Christmas ornament. Now the thing about the ornament is, I'm going to be showing you with this limited palette an idea of how to paint an ornament. You, of course, can extrapolate, change, make adjustments to create the ornament that you would rather have. I am just going to be painting this one, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So this is the ornament we'll be painting today. However, you can make these stripes. You could create very nice pattern designs. The ideas are endless. So please don't be held to what I'm showing you today, other than how to go about painting a Christmas ornament. So let's get started with all of the stuff that we have, so we know that we have our equipment ready. What I like to start with is a plastic apron, which I already have on. I provide you with a spatula to remove the peel. I give you a paper towel to help dry off your brushes. I give you a piece of palette sheet for you to be able to put your paints on. I give you a paint packet. Off to the side, I have a cup of water. We also provide you with two brushes, one flat, one pointed, but please feel free to use your own, as I will be using these today for purposes of the video to help expedite the painting so the video doesn't take hours. So let's talk about our colors. I open up the paint packet. I dump out my paints. Move my cup a little bit. There. So the colors we have today are red, we have green, we have white, and we have black. Now, we like to give you a lot more color than you'll actually be using in this painting today. And I'm going to be painting this slightly different in process so that I can stick with the real details of the painting. I've already told you that you don't have to paint these dots. You don't have to paint yours green. You don't even have to have a red background. But I'm going to use this for purposes of the video to show you how we created this particular project. So let's put out some colors. First color I'm going to put out is a little bit of red. Not going to need a lot, so I'm just going to put out just enough. Move that to the side. The next color we're going to put out is going to be green. Give me 1 second. You just pinch in here. Grab the edge, just pop it open. There. Just going to put out a small amount of green. That's more than we'll need. The next color I'm going to put out is white. Just going to grab it. Squeeze out a little bit here. There. This should be more than enough. Just give me a second. There. And the last color we're going to put out is black. For the black, I'm just going to need like a whisk. I don't even need to squeeze it out, but I want you to be able to see it. So there, that's all I need for the black. Now to start this painting, we like to provide you with an 8x10 canvas that already has the peel on it. Now when we finish painting, we're going to be peeling off two parts. The first part will be the circle, which we're going to put the spatula underneath here and just peel that off, leaving the top part of the ornament to be painted and peeled later. So why don't I show you how we're going to kind of jettison ahead a little bit. The brushes that I have for myself today is a 3/4 inch flat. I have a number 2 pointed and a number 4 flat, which act the same as these brushes. But if you should have your own, these are the ones I'll be using today. The first thing I would have asked you to do is to paint the background, where you would simply dip into the red and just using left and right strokes, paint down the whole canvas until it was red, like that. So now that we painted the canvas red, I would have probably asked you to let it dry for a couple of minutes, just so that when you're doing this next part, peeling off the peel, you wouldn't have any paint get on your hands. And again, to do that, all you would have to do is take the spatula, gripping it like so, stick it right underneath this edge, right along the top of the ornament part, like so. And then once you get it, you just very carefully and very slowly peel off like this, leaving the top ornament. And then after you get it completely peeled, we would have painted it green. So all I did was show you some jumps ahead where we painted the background red, peeled off the image, like so, leaving the little hook for the ornament top, and paint the interior green. Now this is where the painting picks up. Once you've painted your ornament green, you want to decorate it. The process that I'm using to make these little circles could very easily be stripes or angles or weird shapes, whatever you wanted to make your decorations look like. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to start with just white. Take some white, and I'm going to say right about here is going to be one of my colors. So I'm going to make a circular shape like this, and I'm just going to fill it in with the paint. See that? So now we have one little part of the ornament ready to be decorated later. So basically, I'm designing all of the little circles with white first, and I'm painting right on top of the green, and I'm just going to paint a series of circular shapes of different sizes in different places to be painted again later. And this is how you would set up your stripes or your diagonals or your random designs, by using the white paint to first give you an idea of where you want your designs to be, as I'm doing. So don't look, you can make squares, you can make diamonds. I'm just using circles. And I'm just going to try and randomly place them as quickly as possible, like so. See how some of them are larger than others, and some of them are small, and I'm just trying to completely go around. And then once I get a lot of them to say, okay, these are my more focused whole ones where you can see everything about them, maybe off to the edge over here, for example, like right here, maybe there's a partial one. So I'll go to the very top and I'll paint it so that you can only see part of it, like that. And this is how you would decorate your ornament with any shape. You could paint something very detailed like a snowman or someone skating or a reindeer, but you want to use the white first on top of whatever color background to your ornament you're painting. So one, you know where it is, and two, when you do apply color to it, the color really stands out. And that's one of the only reasons that I'm painting it white first. One is for placement, and two is so that when I paint them, my colors stand out more vividly. Just looking around to see if there's a few more that I need. Maybe there's a one over here. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as the diagram we showed. It's just the idea is what I'm really trying to get you to understand. And there, that looks pretty cool. Maybe there's a little tiny one over here, just to kind of balance things out. See, now what I've done, again, is I've taken and I peeled off my circle. I used my white paint to paint what I want to be the decorations on the ornament itself. Now I'm going to clean this brush off. I'm going to wipe it on a paper towel. While this is drying for me, because some of this is still a little wet, so before I apply the color to it, I'm going to go ahead and remove the top part of the ornament. So I'm going to take my spatula. I'm going to find me a spot. Try to see where I can just get in. There you go. Once I get a little bit peeled up, I simply remove everything else. And there's the hook to my ornament. See how it's starting to come together quickly? Now I'm going to take this pointed brush. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of white and maybe move it over here with a touch of black, because I want to create a gray. This gray is going to be the top part of my Christmas ornament. So I'm going to take that and I'm simply going to use this brush to fill in the white to make the gray that will be the top part of my ornament. So at this point, I'm going to take my time, placing my pinky to brace myself, and I'm going to very carefully and very slowly work this color all the way around and down into my ornaments. Top hook, I'm going to call it. We're going to call it the hook to the ornament. And by doing this, I could change the gradation just a little bit if I want, but I'm just going to keep painting this gray all the way down until that whole shape is filled in. Then I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and decorate that. Now at this point, since I have the little hook part done, maybe I'll pick up a slightly larger brush just to move a little faster. I don't want to keep you on this little part. I just want you to understand what I'm doing as I'm doing it, so you can keep up. And thank goodness this is a video. You could always pause it, rewind it, look at it again and again and again to get the complete understanding before you even start or while you're painting. Either way, that's what makes our YouTube videos so helpful. And please subscribe to our J. Robinson Art YouTube channel. Now as you get to the smaller areas, I'm going to switch back to the detail brush just so I can have a little bit more control and get into these little nooks and crannies. Like this part down here towards the bottom. I just want to make sure that I don't lose the little shapes that they're showing me. See that? How cool is that? So now you got the top part of the ornament partially decorated. And I'm going to show you how you finish it off, and then we're going to colorize and decorate the background a little bit. Just a few little steps to really make your painting pop. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to add a little darker value to this gray, maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to take that darker value and maybe right along here, I'm just going to make what looks like a little bit of, here, let me make it darker. I want to make it really dark so you can see it. I don't want it to be too dark, but I need you to be able to see it. There, make it like so. And then I'm going to bring that color down right along the front part just to give it a little bit of a roundness at the top. Do you see that? See how that worked out? That darker value with that little arc of a line, leaving the top part darker, lighter, should I say. Now it looks like this is a little bit more dimensional, which is kind of cool. You could even take some straight black or mix it in with the gray for a darker value. And right along here, you could just put in a few lines, almost like it's crimped. You know, like it has a little bit of a crimp to it right along the edges. See that? Those little lines just add dividends to your painting. Then you could come up in here and add a little shadow to one side of the hook so it shows the turn. There, that looks pretty good. I'm going to stop there with that. Don't need to go too much further. And while we have this skinny brush or the pointed brush, which would be equivalent to this brush, I'm going to go into some white and I'm going to start making some little curly lines as though there's a little bit of a string that's part of this painting. So I'm going to come here and maybe go like this and stop at the hook, come underneath and go right across the top of the hook and just let that flail off like that, as though the string broke in midstream. And maybe the string curls, like there's a little curl right there like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm just creating designs that you can freely do without any restriction. Feel free to make your painting design any way that you like. See that? Now I'm going to go off the canvas and maybe turn around and say it comes in here. Maybe it curls up again. Who knows? And it goes behind the decoration. And then it comes out on the other side. And maybe it curls again right about here. And it goes maybe the other way. And it curls again. I'm just letting it flow. I'm just taking the brush and just letting the paint flow and create these different movements. Maybe it goes off the canvas there. And maybe there's a part here that you don't see. So just get rid of this and it curls over here and it turns around. Maybe it goes right near the bottom and goes right back up. You see, this just adds a little something to the background. And that, my friends, is how you decorate the background. Very simple, very easy. Now let's clean off this brush. Wipe it on a paper towel. Let's clean off this flat brush. And let's begin to decorate those dots a little bit. I chose to kind of stay primarily with the same colors that the background and the actual ornament is. Again, just want to emphasize you can add all additional colors that you want. Leave the background white, make it polka dotted pink, your choice. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this green. And I'm going to paint several of these dots green. And the green that I have here is a lighter green than the background, which is mixed with a little bit of black to darken it. But I just want a nice light green coming off the dark green. So now I'm just going to find some random choices to say these are all going to be my greens. And you see how coming off the fact that it was white, how this light green is showing up so much better. See that? And you could paint these colors more than once. And let's just go over here and say maybe this one is also green. Yes, I'm just going to paint all the green ones first so that whatever is left, then I'll paint those red. Because this helps give me an idea of where I want everything to go instead of going green, red, green, red, green, red. I'm just going to do all of the ones that I want, leaving some open to later on come back and make them red. Maybe right here. And maybe there's another one right here. I think I'm going to do a couple more greens and then everything else is going to be red. But you see how it's coming together? You see how easy this is? This is what I call one of the most easiest ways to decorate your windows, decorate your patio doors. You could decorate furniture like this. You could do so many different things with just this technique alone. It's just priceless. It's just priceless. Let's just make this little one right here green. Everything else is going to be red. So let's clean off the brush. Ring the bell. Ringing the bell is just me knocking the brush from side to side. Let's pick up some red. It's a beautiful red. And let's just paint the remainings red. Now this is going to show you an even better idea of why using the white was so important. It's what they call an underpainting. It's just a way in which you can create a lot of different effects. So again, while this is just an ornament, you've picked up a lot of little tips today that could help you in a variety of other forms of painting. Other things that you might want to do. Look how cool that is. See that? This one's red. And it's all starting to come together. The painting is almost complete. Ready for your signature. Well, as always, I hope you enjoyed this particular easy way of painting. And you see how Peiloff just helps you by providing you with an aid to allow you to paint more freely. And as your confidence and your experience grows, you can always still use Peiloff and just take it to a whole nother level. Or you can start using some of these little techniques to actually paint on your own. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, J. Robinson Art. This way you can see all the videos that we post, that we already have posted. You'll get notifications on any new videos as they are posted. So you can keep up with our growing collection. Because we're always going to be bringing you something different, something new, something exciting, and just for you. So have some fun, push around a few colors, and be creative. Look at that. This painting is finished. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to paint with you. I had fun. I hope you had fun. And just to show you what I mean about going over the color, see if you take some green in this case and just go over the color that you already have. Look how much darker it gets, but it's still kind of light, but you could just apply color on top of color here and make the colors even more vivid, depending on how much time you want to spend on it and what you decide to do. So I just wanted to show you that so you can see that you can continue to paint once this acrylic paint dries and add layer upon layer, which is a beautiful watercolor technique. It's called layering. Simple as that. But it allows you to start out with one tone value and keep building the value until you're completely satisfied with what you have. So on that note, I'm going to close out again with a thank you very much for letting me paint with you. Happy to show you all these little different tricks and techniques. Maybe one day we're just going to have a video on some tips and techniques. So again, thank you. There's our finished painting. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, take care.